Today, everyone, we are going to be talking about The Long Halloween Part 2. Welcome to the Watchtower, everyone, and like I was saying before, today we are going to be doing a spoiler review of The Long Halloween Part 2. Yes, I did say a spoiler review, guys, so if you have not watched this yet, please click away now, watch this, come back, and enjoy. I am going to be, however, openly spoiling Part 1 and the graphic novel, The Long Halloween. So if you've not read or watched Part 1, do so now, come back, watch this review, guys, alright? So, this, like I said, is Part 2 of The Long Halloween animated story. And I really, really like this. We're gonna dive in here, guys, and we're gonna talk about, what I liked and what I didn't like. There are a few things I didn't like about this, so we're gonna talk about those. But yeah, really, really enjoyed this. Starting off, the characters or the voice actors. What did I think about the voice actors in this? And I thought they were really, really good. We had, a lot of returning characters from the first part, obviously. Jensen Ackles as Batman / Bruce Wayne, Naya Rivera as Catwoman, Titus Welliver as Carmine Falcone, Josh Duhamel as Harvey Dent / now Two-Face in this one. A lot of Billy Burke as Commissioner Gordon, so a lot of really, really great voice actors in this. Did a really good job. Couple new people as well. So Katie Sackhoff did Poison Ivy, and I thought she was really, really good in this. She had this really great blend of sexy and sultry, but also there was this vulnerability about her that I really, really liked. And if I didn't know that Katie Sackhoff, before I watched this, was voicing Poison Ivy, I probably wouldn't have realized that it was Katie Sackhoff doing this, because she just didn't sound like Katie Sackhoff. And then we also had Robin Atkins Downs as Scarecrow, and I really, really liked his version of Scarecrow. There was just this scary to this voice. It has kind of this hiss to it, very creepy voice. Really, really liked that. And then also had John Dimaggio as Mad Hatter, and I don't know if it's just because I'm used to like the Arkham games and the animated series and stuff version of Mad Hatter, the voice, but this was completely different. This was more of like a Cockney kind of British accent, and I didn't hate it. It was kind of interesting. I liked it, but it was just completely different what I'm used to with the Mad Hatter. So kudos to the animation, the voice coach, and everything for going for something different and letting John Dimaggio do something different. So I really like that. Also, I want to do a big shout out to Jensen Ackles in this, because not only was he Bruce Wayne / Batman, which he was a really good job, but he had to do different aspects of that as well. So he had to do Bruce Wayne, affected by Poison Ivy. He had to do Batman affected by fear toxin. He had to do all this different stuff and add to it, and I thought he did a really, really good job. If there's one little issue I had with the voice cast and everything, it's Josh Duhamel's Two-Face. I thought his Two-Face sounded a lot like Christian Bale's Batman voice. It just had that same kind of just like hoarse kind of gravel to it, and I felt like to be Two-Face, it's got to be a little bit more of like a menace and a rage behind it. And it just had this kind of like Christian Bale Batman voice to it, which it didn't take me out of the movie, but I really didn't love it. And then also, what did I think about the animation? I thought, I've really been enjoying what DC Animation has been doing recently with their animated movies. This, Part 1, Justice Society World War II. I've really been liking the animation they're doing, more so now than the past 10 years with what they're doing with their animation, which I really didn't like. It just looked weird. But this I've been enjoying. And this is no different. I really like the animation in this. There were some rough patches in it. I don't know if that was because they were in a rush. Some of it just didn't look right. Just the animation just looked rough and rushed. And I don't know if that's just because they were in a rush to finish this or whatever, or what the case was, but there's just some parts that look bad. And I'm not an animation expert by any means, so if I'm noticing it, it's probably an issue. I mean, there's probably people that are animation experts that are noticing a lot more issues, but they stood out to me. Some of the stuff just didn't look right. So yeah, but overall, I liked the animation. I thought everything looked really good. Really, really liked it. And then I kind of want to dive in and talk about the story here. So, the story is, if you've watched part 1, it is still they're trying to hunt down the Holiday Killer. The Holiday Killer, when this starts out, has been operating for 6 months, and Batman, Gordon, Dent are no closer to finding this guy, and tension is just pressure is being, more and more pressure is being put upon them to solve this case because Carmine Falcone has hired criminals or supervillains, Poison Ivy, Scarecrow, Mad Hatter, to do stuff in the chaos. I'm not going to spoil for you what he's hired them to do, but he's hired them to do stuff in all this chaos with the Holiday Killer and everything. Well, police are distracted and everything to do stuff for him, and that's more this like gripping the city and causing panic and spiraling it out of control. So they're really under the gun to find this Holiday Killer. So that's the basic story of this. And I really like this story. If you've read the graphic novel, you're pretty familiar with the story. And it has enough similar beats to the graphic novel that fans of the graphic novel or people familiar with the graphic novel will know what's going on, will be able to follow along and enjoy it. But also there's enough different that people who have read the graphic novel or are fans of it will be surprised and will be engaged. And yeah, so I thought it was a really good blend of being respectful to the source material, but also doing its own thing, and not and keeping it going, but doing it in a natural, organic way, and not just making changes to make changes. Like Catwoman had a lot bigger part in this than she does in the novel. I mean, she's big in the novel, but there's more that she does and stuff in this. They try to change a little bit with like Two-Face / Harvey Dent and what he was doing and everything. More of a bigger focus with him, and I really, really like what they did. And some of it's just out of necessity because, I mean, that graphic novel is it's a big book, and this you have to really whittle that down, and you have to cut some of that stuff out. And they did, but I thought it worked really good how they did it. Also, huge shout out to Gilda Dent because she had a lot more to do with it. They really, in the first part, she was more involved than she is in the graphic novel, but even in the second part, even more so. And I really like what they did with Gilda Dent. They really fleshed her out as a character more and delve into her backstory and what made her tick and kind of just like all the trauma she's been through. And I really, really liked what they did with Gilda Dent. Really made her more of a three-dimensional character than just like a periphery character that she was in the graphic novel. So I really like what they did with Gilda Dent. I really enjoyed that. Guys, I am going to talk about the ending of this and the killer. I'm not going to spoil who the killer was, so you're going to have to watch this to find out who the killer is, but I am going to openly spoil part 1 and the graphic novel. So if you don't want to be spoiled about any of those two things, guys, click away now, watch it, come back. Yeah, we're going to spoil that now, so you've all been warned, all right? So anyway, if you've read the graphic novel, you know that Alberto Falcone is the killer. With a couple of the killings were done by Gilda Dent, but for the most part, it was Alberto Falcone who was the killer. If you watched part 1 of this, you know that the end of that movie was Alberto Falcone on the boat on New Year's getting shot and falling overboard, like he did in the book. But in the book, he faked his own death so he could continue killing, and no one would be able to connect that it was him because he was already a victim of the Holiday Killer. So how could he still be around killing people? In part 1, same thing happens. He gets shot, falls overboard. But the difference is we see him fall overboard and then get run over by the propeller of the boat, essentially becoming fish chum. So it'd be very, very hard for Alberto Falcone to still be the killer in part 2 when he was pretty much fish chum, unless he was doing it from beyond the grave. But this is not a supernatural story, so that is not really a possibility here. But who they revealed to be the killer, this was my big worry, because I thought, okay, how are they going to do this? How are they going to make it make sense? How are they going to make us, make it good when they changed it from not being Alberto Falcone? And in my humble opinion, they crushed it. I really, really liked the reveal of the killer. I liked how they did it. I thought it made sense for the narrative of the story, the way they explained it, the way they weaved it all in. It really, really made sense, and once you watch this and you watch part 1 and part 2 and you see the little beats that they went through to kind of put this out, really, really nicely done. I liked who the reveal of the killer was. It made sense. I thought it was a really good job of who they made the killer and everything and how they explained it. I really, really liked what they did there. So no complaints here. And it was really an emotional punch, the reveal of the killer. So I really liked it. But anyway, guys, that's been this. I really, really liked it. I highly recommend that you guys watch it. It was so, so good, guys. If you're a fan of Batman or, the animated movies, watch this. It was good, guys. All right, really, really good. Also, if you get the DVD/Blu-ray, down here at the bottom, there is a bonus short with Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle. The original, the second Blue Beetle, Ted Kord. It's a kind of 60s spoof on like Spider-Man animated series / Batman 66, kind of that kind of camp vibe to it. But it's really fun. I really, really liked what they did with that short. Also had the question in it, and I'm a sucker for the question. So anytime you get more of my boy the question in something, I'm going to like it, or at least going to give it a shot. So really, really worth it. Pick this up. Watch the short. Really worth it, guys. But guys, let me know in the comments what you thought. Have you watched this? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Let me know. I want to hear from you guys. As always, I appreciate you guys so, so much. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you the next time I log in for Monitor Duty up here in the Watchtower.